Three people have been found dead in Nottingham. Police has arrested a 31-year-old man on suspicion of attempted murder. Investigation is at its early stages. A team of detectives is working to establish exactly what happened. Meanwhile, the city's tram network said that it has suspended all services. Nottingham is a city of about 350,000 people, situated approximately 190 kilometers north of London. High waves in the Arabian Sea, accompanied by a heavy downpour and gusting winds, pounded Gujarat's coastal areas, uprooted trees and resulted in wall collapse that killed 3 people in western India. 4 boys also drowned after venturing into rough seas in Mumbai. The death toll has reached 7 even before Cyclone Biparjoy has made landfall in the South Asian nation. Having spent nearly 10 days over the Arabian Sea, Cyclone Biparjoy is set to make an arrival on India's west coast and South Pakistan on Thursday. Authorities have already begun evacuating thousands of people. Russia launched a missile attack overnight on the central Ukrainian city of Kryvyi. The Ukrainian official reported that the attack killed about 10 and wounded several others, damaging civilian infrastructure. Several civilian buildings were hit, including a 5-story building during the attack. During the early hours of Tuesday, air raid sirens blared across the whole of Ukraine, but Kiev's military officials said that air defense forces destroyed all Russian missiles targeting the Ukrainian capital. Ukraine's top military commander said that air forces destroyed 10 out of 14 cruise missiles, and Russia launched on Ukraine and one of the 4 Iranian-made drones. After launching the long-awaited counter-offensive against Russia last week, the Ukrainian troops claim to have advanced to a total of 6.5 kilometers and taken control of an area of 90 square kilometers of the total area occupied by Russia near the Zaporizhzhia region. The reclaimed region is just a fraction of the 40,000 square miles that remains under Russia's occupation. Kiev says that its troops have recaptured 7 villages. Ukraine Deputy Defense Minister informed that forces have retaken some areas southeast of the city of Zaporizhzhia. US President Joe Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan has arrived in India. His visit aims at making the final preparations for India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi's maiden bilateral trip to the United States of America. According to reports, Sullivan will be meeting his Indian counterpart Ajit Doval to finalize the agreements that are to be taken up during Prime Minister Modi's state visit. In 18 months from now, South Sudan is supposed to head to the polls to vote in presidential elections. The vote should be the culmination of a peace deal signed nearly 5 years ago to pull the nation out of fighting that killed some 400,000 people. While large-scale clashes have subsided, violence in many parts of the country persists. People there have little access to healthcare and little to eat due to the fighting, floods and cuts in food aid. In Kuwait, some children rip leaves from trees into a pot for their only meal of the day. As the election campaign heats up in Spain, forensic scientists have started exhuming bodies of 128 victims of the Spanish Civil War. The bodies will be exhumed from the former mausoleum of General Francisco Franco near Madrid. The process involves unearthing bodies of these people that were moved from other parts of Spain after the 1936-1939 war and reburied without their families' consent. The remains of some 34,000 people are buried anonymously in the crypt of the basilica, which is carved into a mountainside northwest of Madrid. Relatives have been fighting for years to give their loved ones a burial under their names and near their families. UK unemployment eases in 3 months ending April. The unemployment rate decreased to 3.8% from 3.9% in March, as per data by the Office for National Statistics. But the struggle continues as wage rises continues to lag inflation. The number of people in work has gone past its pre-pandemic levels for the first time, setting a new high. Japan's lower house approves proposed legislation aimed at promoting understanding of LGBTQ issues, but campaigners criticize the bill for its watered-down language. Conservative politicians say an anti-discrimination clause could deepen social divisions or open up companies and individuals to malicious lawsuits. Legislators finally settled on a clause opposing unjust discrimination against sexual minorities, adding that the word unjust after extensive wrangling. Following the adoption of draconian anti-gay legislation last month, the United States has updated its travel warning for Uganda. The new advisory says reconsider travel to Uganda due to crime, terrorism and anti-LGBTQI+ legislation. It said that the Anti-Homosexuality Act raises the risk that LGBTQI+ persons and those perceived to be LGBTQI+ could be prosecuted and subjected to life imprisonment or worst case death based on provisions in the law. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be leading the World Yoga Day session at the UN Secretariat in New York on June 21st, says UN Resident Coordinator in India. He will be kicking off his first bilateral visit to the US with this event. The International Day of Yoga has been celebrated across the world annually on June 21st since 2015. Climate activists are working to get a giraffe out of a Mexican zoo. Benito the giraffe arrived in the northern border city of Ciudad and he arrived in May this year. According to the activists, Benito is kept in a small fenced enclosure with few trees to nibble on and a climate he's not used to. His arrival has drawn criticism towards the state-run park. The park had previously housed a giraffe that lost limbs during the winter and later died in 2022 after 21 years there. Meanwhile, the state-run park has rejected the criticism. A man-made flying saucer has taken a test run in southern China, Shenzhen city, developed by Shenzhen UFO Power Technology. The flying saucer is equipped with 12 propeller blades surrounding the pilot's seat in the very middle of the craft. According to media reports, the electric vertical takeoff and landing craft can reach an altitude of around 200 meters with a maximum flight time of up to 15 minutes. The craft was developed over a period of 3 years. It made its public debut on the 3rd of June. Researchers at the UK's University of Nottingham have used the so-called ghost driver technique for a study. The study looks to analyze how pedestrians might communicate with future autonomous vehicles. The self-driving cars come with different visual displays on the front of the vehicle. To get a response from pedestrians, a car was driven around the university's campus over several days. A series of different designs were projected onto a front-facing display. They informed pedestrians of the car's behavior and intentions, including expressive eyes or a face, accompanied with short text messages saying, "I have seen you" or "I am giving way." Scientists at Imperial College London are in the process of developing bioengineered DNA devices. These devices effectively act like invisible plasters to speed up wound healing. Scientists have been carrying out tests on animals for the experiment. The nanotechnology is aimed at targeting a therapy to exactly where it is needed, either on the skin or anywhere else in the body. The therapy also aims for complex wounds such as diabetic foot ulcers, which are notoriously difficult to heal. The 6,200-year-old Ginkgo tree is a popular tourist site at the Yedi village, which is north of China. Standing 25.4 meters tall with a diameter at breast height of 3.25 meters. Locals say it takes 8 people to hug this ancient tree, known as the living fossil of the plant world. Ginkgo was found growing on Earth about 345 million years ago during the Carboniferous period. Ahead of World Rainforest Day on June 22nd, a project in Peru is using a robot to plant seeds to help reforestation of the Amazon. The pristine rainforest and biodiversity is under threat from mining and logging, much of which is illegal. Not-for-profit organization Jungle Keepers say that bringing robots on board to join the fight against rainforest destruction could be a game changer. The robot is powered by solar panels and connected by solar satellite Wi-Fi. This is for remote updates from an ABB base in Sweden, about 12,000 kilometers away. Western Canada remains shrouded in smoke after wildfires in the region flared up again. The fires are in close proximity to Alberta, Canada's main oil-producing province. Fighters in Quebec doused some of the worst early-season blazes, allowing thousands of evacuees to return home. Canada is enduring its most destructive start to wildfire season in years, with about 4.8 million hectares already scorched, an area larger than the Netherlands in Western Europe. A landmark climate change trial opened on Monday in Montana, where people are contending the state's embrace of fossil fuels that is destroying the environment and robbing the residents of a healthy future. The case is the first of a series of similar challenges that are targeting everything from the government energy policies to the businesses for the responsibility to pay for the damages to climate.